Hi, I'm George, and we'll be using Affinity Photo to add some text onto this vacation photograph. Now to start off with, you need a couple of things. First, this picture, and then second, this typeface. Let me bring up a website and I'll show you where I found those. First off, we're here at Pixabay, and here's a photograph that I'll be using. You can download this for free. I have a link for this page in the description. And then next over here at the dafont.com site, here's a typeface I'm using. Same thing, you can download this right here and install that into your system. Now, if you're not sure how to download fonts or install fonts in your system, it's real easy. Just go over here to the home page for dafont.com, and there's information right over here on how to do that. Okay, let's go back to the project. And I'll start off with a brand new project. We'll just close this one down, get rid of that. There we go. Okay, we'll start off going into File and New. And I'm using a 6x4 inch image size right there. It's under the Photos section, right in the top middle. Choose Create, and there we go. We now need to bring in our photograph. Go up to File, come down to Place right here. Take your image. I have mine saved on my hard drive right there. Choose Open. And then just click in here someplace that will then place that photograph in. Now it's a little small, so I'll readjust our size. I'll just pull it up here so it's just outside the edges up there. I'll pull down the bottom right-hand corner until the bottom size fits. And let's push the image clear to the left-hand side. I want to have the palm tree way over on the left-hand side like that. And then we're going to stretch the image to the right. I'll just grab this handle right here and pull the image over here to the right-hand side until it fits. And there we go. That's the basic layout for the image here for this project. We now need to put in our text. So go over here to the text tool right here. This is the artistic text. If you click and hold for a second, you have two text tools, artistic and frame. You want the artistic text. And up here, you should have already installed your typeface. I have mine already installed, and here it is, Art Paper at the very top of the list. And then set your type size up here to 64, and just click in here someplace like that, and then type in Island. There we go. And that puts that on its own layer. If we go over here to Layers, you'll see here's our photograph from behind, and then here is that island text right above that on a layer. Okay, do the same thing. Go back to your text tool. Click down here someplace, there we go, and then type in vacation. Just move back just a little bit here, and let's pull that in. So there's our two words. Now I have the coloration a little bit different. The top one stays in black, that's fine. The bottom one, we need to change the color here to white. So go back to your type tool, click a couple of times, and that selects that type. And then go right here, there's your font color, click on that, and then go over to swatches, and right there, there's your white color. And then click outside, and there it is. Okay, the basic type now is sitting on the project. We can now put in the effects, and we'll do our rotation as our last step. We'll be using layer effects. We'll go up here to our top layer. So just select your layer. You don't have to actually select the text. Just select the layer by clicking on it. And go over here where it says Effects, right here. And the first effect is going to be a 3D effect. So click on 3D effect, little check mark right here. And notice that gear icon right there. To see all the options, click on that gear icon. And that brings up the whole layer effects dialog box right here. We can now set everything in here. Radius, at the top here I have this set to 12, and then hit the enter key and that puts it in. That's how far in the effect goes on that side. We'll leave diffuse and specular the same. Shininess, we're going to change the shininess level here to 93, and again hit the enter key to put that in. It just kind of lightens things up. Leave everything else in here the same. We'll be changing our color right down here. Click on that color spot, and in here leave the green and blue the same as is, and then just change the R color at the top to 151. Hit the enter key, and that puts in kind of a bluish tint right there. Notice if I change the shininess, that changes that bluish effect on it. No shininess, you don't see it at all. A lot of shininess, you get a bit more of that, so we're using a setting here of 93. Okay, we'll use the exact same settings on the vacation, but it's going to look different because it's a different base type color. The top one was based in black, the bottom one was based in white, and that gives it a totally different look. Now you can leave the dialog box up if you want to. Just click here on vacation, and we'll then put those same settings in here. So radius was 12, hit the enter key, there's the radius. Shininess was 93, enter key. And come down here to the bottom color spot right there, and change the red value to 151, enter key, and there we go. So that takes care of that. Let's get that out of the way just for a second. So there's our basic coloration and our basic bevel effect in here. We now need to put onto this a drop shadow, and for that, that's over here again under the effects, and it's the outer shadow. We could have gotten to that directly. I'll show you that in just a second. Bottom one here first. Here's our outer shadow. Just click on that gear icon again. That brings back up the layer effects dialog box. So we could have come down here to 3D and then gone up here to outer shadow if you wanted to, but I wanted to show you that it's also over here right hand side. Okay, now on the outer shadow, we have everything the same here except for the offset right here. Just want to move it out just a little bit. If I grab the offset, you can see how it pulls out the drop shadow down there. The further out I go, the more it pulls it out. So use a setting in here of 16 on that and choose close. Exact same thing up here for island. Again, outer shadow, just check that. You can do the offset right here if you want to. 16, enter key, and there it is. Okay, so that's all taken care of. The last thing we need to do now is just to rotate our text. You can use the rotation button right here, but I found it's kind of hard to use that. I prefer coming out to a corner. If you come in towards a corner and you'll see kind of a bent arrow like that, click and hold. You can then rotate your text around just like that. Notice there's even a degree shown there in that little window. But I'll put it about like that. That looks pretty good. And I'll just stick that right up here. Come down to vacation. Same thing. I'll come to an outer corner, go just outside till you see that bent arrow, and then rotate it around right here. And a little overlap I think is kind of fun on this. There we go. Notice how the island is in front of vacation right now. You can reverse that if you want to. That's back on your layers here. Simply take your layer and drag it up. I've now moved that layer in front of the island layer, so you can choose the stacking order just by dragging your layers up and down. So there we go. That's how to place text onto a photo here using Affinity Photo. And I'll see you next time.